Hello and a very happy new year to all our viewers on YouTube, our listeners on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. I think I've got that. That's the best I've ever done it. Taylor Brown. My name's Lee Addison. This is episode 30 of the Rugby League Coach podcast. I am with Taylor Brown. Taylor, I hope you enjoyed your week off the podcast last week. You were holidaying. I was here manning Rugby League Coach Towers all on my own. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Lee. And yes, this is a very similar background to what I had last week, holidaying up there on the Sunshine Coast. Yeah, a little bit of time away with the family.
Nice.
The kids, couple of beers, couple of waves. All the stuff you do at New Year's in Australia.
Now, James, I'm pretty sure you were there in the United Kingdom, ready to go last week with a podcast too, but these boys just didn't show up, did they?
No, I was ready and raring to go, but I've extended. No, they didn't. So I've extended my list of players. I've had time to do that, Lee. So
it's funny you should say that, James, because you were bragging to me on the WhatsApp. Because James likes to preview on the WhatsApp, Taylor, before every podcast. He's always the first to get on the Zoom that we record on. He was telling me how many players he's got listed. So I've thrown you a curveball, James. What's going to happen today is...
Welcome back, boys.
Is you are going to pick a back three, because we're looking at full backs and wings, guys, right? Because these Muppets were too busy holidaying last week. We didn't do full backs last week, which is full backs week. So this is wing week. Yes, and you can laugh at how me and James say wing with a pronounced G.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do, and I'm throwing them both a curveball, is they're going to name the back three, the best back three in history, and it could be current, could be past, of every NRL team with the exception of Redcliffe, because he's not taken the field yet, so that's 16 teams, the best English back three ever, or British, I'll go British, and the best Australian back three ever. Okay?
Right. Okay.
So there is 3 points on offer for the players, so if you get the best player, in a certain position, and I've got to do it in a certain order, so please do not jump in. But if you get the best choice out of the two, you get a point. So you all got to pick a winger, a fullback, and a winger for each team.
Okay.
And if you get the best score overall, you get a point there too. Okay. So
so if James picks a winger, then I can't pick him for that team.
So what we'll do is I'll alternate it. So you'll go first at one point, then James will go first. So I won't go, and you can only say one player, okay? So in other words, just get on with it and do as you're told, boys. Which hand is my orange highlighter in, James?
Your right hand.
My right hand has got my lovely pen in. My left hand has got my orange highlighter in.
I knew that.
That means, Taylor, you get the choice whether you want to get the first pick straight away or the second pick. It's totally up to you.
No, look, I am going to accept my fault here of being on holidays last week, and I'm going to let James go first with the first one.
Okay.
He was here. He's prepared. Look at him. He's trying to think of all the names on his list right now. He's rattled. I've got him.
I reckon his name. He's got about a list of about 150, and about 50 of them you'll have heard of. Taylor.
I'm going to send him in the bat first.
Okay, a wing for Penrith Panthers. So number two on the field for Penrith Panthers, historically or now. I might put a time limit on Varley too.
I like. Well, I've got two listed for Penrith. I've got two.
We'll only say one, or else
Brian To'o, but he's
so
Brian
To'o. Okay,
To'o.
Who've you got, Taylor?
I'm going to go ahead and say Luke Rooney. But, James, I think it's very fair to put Brian To'o in that list. He's won 2 competitions at the Panthers, arguably one of the best Panther sides ever. I think that's a good inclusion. Even historically, using all their old players, I think Brian To'o is a good inclusion.
Okay, so now, James, your other Penrith wing, please.
Penrith wing. Penrith is one I'm a little bit shorter on.
So mate, if you've not got it, If you've not got it, you've not got it. So
to be quick, I'll make a concession on that Penrith left winger. So I'll play a wild card on that concession.
So go on, Taylor. You just need to basically name a wing to get a point there.
Luke Lewis.
Good work.
Hey, Luke's on the wings.
There you go. That's where he started. James, your Penrith fullback.
Reece Wesser.
Oh, you bastard, you.
Sorry.
Oh.
What about me and you, Taylor? Then going, oh, together.
I think I've got one anyway.
Go on.
Right.
Preston Campbell.
Okay.
Right. Didn't realise he played fullback.
I've got a spreadsheet here and everything to keep score. You'd be amazed. So Preston. Okay. Right. So first of all, we had Rooney or Toto. And I'm happy to have some discussion in and around this. I think Rooney gets the nod because of his height. I think the fact that Toto's won 2 premierships, I mean, he did need the other 12 players around him in every game. So Toto's also had the occasional problem under the high ball, which again is possibly as a result of his height. I do like the way Toto carries the ball out though, and I do think he's a fantastic professional. But personally, I'm going to suggest Rooney gets the nod. Anybody want to argue with me or debate the position there?
I had Rooney there because he played for New South Wales and Australia for a long time. He was a proven representative star that come out of Penrith, and that's one of the reasons why I had him there. Toto could very much have played for Australia this year if he chose to do so. I don't see anyone taking the wing jersey off him for New South Wales for a long time. He has won 2 premierships as well. But yeah, look, I think both of them are great players. And I think if you're picking, I think Luke Lewis gets discarded there. If you're picking your best 17 from the Panthers, I think both of those players are certainly in for a shot. Definitely in the NRL era, that would be the wings. And, depending on who they had from back in the day and the impacts they had that I didn't necessarily see, you'd almost have them in their best ever.
All right, so you get that point, Taylor. The fullback position, Preston Campbell or Wesser. Oh, I think Wesser was a bit more consistent over a bit longer, a little bit heavier, so we got a bit more go forward if he was running directly at someone. So I'm probably going to give that point to James unless there's any arguing. But Taylor, you definitely got the other wing spot. So that means you won the round, Taylor.
Thank you.
So you'll find that is 1, 2, 3, 3 points to Taylor. 1, 2, 3, 1 to James Varley. Good start. Okay. Good start. Okay. This time, your first, Taylor, Cronulla Sharks. You can't name another player, like you can't put Luke Lewis on the wing. Especially because I don't think he played at Cronulla.
Yeah, I don't think he played on the wing either.
So not at Cronulla.
No.
Yeah.
I actually had a little bit of trouble with this side in particular because I just don't have anything that springs to mind. But ET has to be up there, Eddingthausen.
Yep. James?
Right, he pinched mine with ET on that one.
James is in some trouble tonight.
I've got Matt Rogers.
Oh.
He was my other one. Gone.
Oh.
Gone.
Other wing, Taylor?
I think Nathan Stapleton won the competition with them there on that wing. I'm really scratching here. I forget who they had on their wings in their premiership.
James?
I'm struggling a bit with the other winger. I'm going to come out with a total ball. I don't think he played for Cronulla. I've got a British player for the NRL.
Billy Boston.
I've got John Devereux played NRL, I believe. But
I don't think he was at Cronulla. I think he was at maybe Illawarra, maybe, or Wests or something like that. So another no score there.
I missed an opportunity there.
Fullback for Cronulla.
I'm going to say that I missed an opportunity to say Valentine Holmes on the wing for the Sharks.
Oh,
what a terrible one!
Oh, yes,
what a terrible
People
one to
will be
miss.
Throwing things at the TV.
What a terrible one to miss.
Thrown their device at the wall.
I can't believe I've named Nathan Stapleton there because I forgot about Valentine Holmes in 2016. I'm going to apologise profusely to the people out there. I think this one also a little bit inconsistent, but This is all I think of when I think about fullback for Cronulla. It's David Peachey.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, I've got him. Behold, middle stump on Varley.
Varley.
Right, I'm gonna throw one in who will play fullback over here. But did Ryan McGoldrick ever play fullback for Cronulla?
I think he was a Cronulla junior, but whether he played fullback or not is
right.
I mean, I'm not even going to write that down, James. That is a complete. I mean, honestly, you chucking fruit at the stumps here, aren't you? You just have
it's early days.
ET or Rogers? I mean, I think ET was so well known because he was so handsome and sexy. I think even us men found him sexy. But I think Rogers, he's definitely one of the best wings of all time. So I think James gets that vote there. For the other spot, that's you with Stapleton, mate. Just name it Stapleton.
No, don't give me a point for Stapleton.
You have, because James didn't offer anything.
Yeah, but I don't want the point. I've missed Valentine Holmes.
And Peachy. So, mate, you are running away with it, Taylor Brown here. You are 6 points. And James Varley's on a paltry 2. I would like to mention one other wing for Cronulla. A Penrith junior, a big tall fella who was just dead steady and consistent for years.
Right.
Have you got me?
I just can't remember his name.
Recent era.
Yeah, like about 10 years ago kind of thing. He was a Penrith junior. And didn't John Morris play there too?
John Morris played a little bit on the wing and then before he moved into the hooker.
Yeah, because I knew he'd been a hooker. Did he play for Parramatta as well, Morris, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who this wing was. He was like just dead solid. He was tall. He was a crowd favourite. Neither of you mentioned Ronaldo Mulatalo as well, who I think is a great wing.
I think Mulatalo is a great winger, and I probably should have mentioned him over the top of Stapleton for sure. I just knew Stapleton was a local junior, and
stop trying to justify it. It's the worst call in history.
Mulatalo should have got the nod, but Valentine Holmes should have got the nod over the top of both of them.
Don't beat yourself up, Taylor. You're doing your best, Taylor Llewellyn. James, you're first. North Queensland Cowboys.
North Queensland. Right, so this is the right winger for North Queensland.
Well, yeah, whichever one you want, yeah.
I've got Matt Singh.
Oh, you bastard, yeah.
Stop swearing, Taylor Brown. Wing.
Ty Williams.
Oh. The other wing, James.
Other wing.
Other wings with a TH.
North Queensland isn't the team I've got a load of names for, so he's getting good. I'm
going to start calling you one wing, James.
I've got a fullback, but I haven't got a. But he might name the fullback. Well, I'll get first.
Taylor, who else is on your pick and swing?
Kyle Felt.
Oh,
won a premiership there. They're deciding in their grand final.
Fullback, Jimmy.
Matty Bowen.
Nice. Fullback, Taylor.
Lachlan Coote.
Oh, okay. Ty Williams and Singh. Would you have gone Singh over Ty Williams, Taylor?
You know what I should have done here? I should have thrown out a discard because they're too hard to put up against each other. I should have thrown up something. So hard to win this battle between Ty Williams and Matt Singh. What a great two wingers.
And hasn't Val Holmes played on the pick and swing for Cowboys?
He has, but I think Kyle Felt has had more of an impact for the Cowboys, which is why I went for him.
So Ty Williams or Singh?
I think
Singh.
I think Singh. Well, Singh also played a lot more rep. They both played for Queensland and Australia together. That's what I mean. They were so it's so rare.
Shut up, Taylor. James getting the point. Coote or Bowen? I'm sorry, Bowen. I don't think when Coote went to Cowboys, he was at his best.
Yeah, but he played. He was there 2015 grand final fullback. Like he still won a competition there. He was no slouch, mate.
Yeah, you might. Yeah.
Like I'm forfeiting the point. I'm putting it. I'm forfeit. Matt Bowen is definitely the fullback you pick, 100%.
Okay, thank you.
But the impact Lachlan Coote had on the Cowboys can't be underestimated. I'm just fighting for that right.
Thanks, Taylor. So you get 1 point there, Taylor Brown.
Yeah.
And James gets 3 points. He's back. He's back in business. Old Val.
Business.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about his point system.
Yeah, we got any adjudicators for the adjudicators.
Parramatta Eels.
Who's first on
And
this?
Taylor's first this time.
Okay.
Wing.
Yeah, I think Growth has to get a talk about here. Senior, Eric Growth Senior. He's obviously had a massive impact on Parramatta.
James?
Blake Ferguson.
Oh. The other wing, Taylor?
Old bloody 12:30 Blake Ferguson. No, 12:15. He's got the big hand on his nose goes this way and the little hand goes that. It's 12:15 nose. Semi Radradra.
Oh.
Right. Luke Burt.
Classic.
Quick, wasn't it? Luke Burt? A few years ago.
Fullback, Taylor?
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Jared Hayne.
Yeah.
Clint Gufferson.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But Hayne was excellent. Hayne was a superb player.
Growth Senior, I think, has had a more decorated career than Blake Ferguson, and also was a big part of the 3 premierships. So I think Taylor gets that point.
Okay.
Burt and Radradra. I mean, one of the things here is who goes up against each other. So Burt and Radradra, there's only one winner, isn't there? But Burt was a quality professional and good goal kicker as well from memory.
Mate, Eric Growth Jr. could have got a shout there.
Possibly.
Well, yeah.
You know, he played for Australia as well.
Now, Jared Hayne and Gutho. I think Jared Hayne, and obviously we've got his off-field. I just want to everyone just forget about that for a second. And that's no disrespect to anybody that's been impacted by that. But I'll be honest, I was a fan of Hayne and thought he was a great talent. I do actually think, though, that he flattered to deceive sometimes because we always expected him to do more, apart from the second half of 2009. Gutho, a player I've coached, obviously, and very talented. I think he gets a lot of kudos from the crowd, though, because he's just such a goer. If I wanted somebody to break open a game, though, I think I'd want Jared Hayne. So, to that end, I'm going Jared Hayne because Jared Hayne was actually moved to wing in the New South Wales side just to get him in the team.
Yes.
If you remember. Gutho is not even in the New South Wales team regularly. He's always like 20th man or something. So you get that point, Taylor. So once again, you get 4 points, Taylor, and James gets none there because you won the 3 there. So well done. The next team we are looking at is the Storm. And James, you are first.
So right winger for the Storm.
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Marcus Bai.
Oh, nice.
Marcus Bai.
Nice. Taylor?
Imagine
Renil playing this game.
No, King, sorry, not Tate. King, Matt King. I don't know why I had Tate in my thing, but Matt King was a great.
I thought you said mate King. The other one, James.
Josh Adokar.
Oh, it's the first time he's named 2 wings.
I know.
No, it isn't. Parrow did it as well. Taylor.
I'm going to say Greg Inglis.
Oh. Neither of you mentioned Israel Folau either.
Oh, no, that's true.
Fullback, James.
Billy Slater.
I've left myself wide open here. I should have left Inglis for fullback.
I don't think he played it for Melbourne, though.
He never. No. Oh, yeah.
Fullback. Mate, this is very easy if you think about it.
I went for. Did you hear me what I said? Billy Slater.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, you're going to lose this one anyway, but you should be able to answer this like.
Oh, Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yeah. The Pap.
Here I am thinking about these old players, and the Paps, I think one of the best.
Billy Slater's basically been the fullback a couple of years into the Storm existing, hasn't he?
Well, I was trying to think of pre-Slater because there's, you know what I mean? When I didn't have to, all I had to think of, and you know what? I could have said Cam Munster there, who also played a lot of fullback.
Yeah, one of the Geyer brothers, was it Matt Geyer? Or something Geyer?
Yeah, one of the guys was there.
Yeah, was on the wing. King or Bai? King for the height, I think, again.
Hmm.
But he didn't have that much New South Wales.
Matt King had a good 2.5, 3 years, and he exploded.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Because
Yeah,
he was actually a barman in Melbourne, and then randomly got a trial at the Storm somehow. So something, whatever happened, and then kicked on to play for Australia.
So what you're saying is it's either the barman or the buyman.
The barman or the buyman?
Bido was quite consistent for a long time, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Or the Baha men who let the dogs out.
King did play a bit for New South Wales, didn't he?
King did play for New South Wales.
But Bai would have played for the country of choice, or do you?
PNG.
Oh,
who would you choose, James? I'm torn.
I did like Matt King, but we're maybe going to put him in a different position. But Bai was just effective and strong and squat. Really, that's why I went for him. I was going to pick King in a position later on, really. So not on the wing, but yeah, King was excellent. I'm a bit torn myself, really.
Yeah,
King had the size.
I'm just going to award it to you, James, just to keep the game a bit interesting.
Do it. It just depends who you had around him too. That would have been a massive factor in who you'd pick in that side. So
because Taylor, you've got to win with English on the wing over Adokar.
Yeah, definitely.
English is a gun, and I think you both dropped the ball not mentioning Taylor, Israel Folau, but Slater better fullback than Pap. So that means James gets 3. James gets 3 and Taylor gets 1. It's currently 11-8 to Taylor Brown, all to play for. Who starts this time?
I do. You can't just pinch Billy Slater and then expect to go again back to back.
Roosters.
Oh, this will be good. Do you want wing first?
What have we done for the previous 5? Yes, I do.
Are you okay? I'm going to say Anthony Minicello.
Oh, right. On a wing?
On the wing.
I'm throw a different one in. Amos Roberts, I believe he played for.
Amos Roberts, he's a great winger. Played for the Roosters and the Dragons.
The other wing?
I'm going to go Matt Singh here.
Right.
Can't.
Why?
He's already been mentioned.
I didn't mention him. Varley mentioned him.
Well, it's not my fault. That's my rules. That's the rule. I told you that rule earlier.
Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Daniel Tupou.
And then I'm going to go James Tedesco fullback.
And I'm not allowed to mention Minicello now, am I? Fullback.
No.
Joey Manu.
I've really
has he ever played fullback for the Roosters?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he would have when Tedesco was out. Not much though.
Okay, Mini or Amos? Mini. That's Taylor's point. RTS or Tupou? I'm a massive Tupou fan, but I think RTS. I mean, Teddy or Manu. Well, he's going to end up starting ahead of Manu, isn't he? So, that's 4 points to Taylor. Diddly squat there for James Varley. Varley, you're up first. The Rabbits.
Oh. The Rabbitohs. Right.
Rabbitohs.
Right. Right wing, Nathan Merritt.
Nathan Merritt, good. But I've got a feeling, just because I've known Taylor a long time, that noise he made there, he's glad you said that one, in a way.
Nah, okay. I really wanted Nathan Merritt. I really wanted him.
Okay.
But I'm going to go
Maybe I don't know you as well as I think.
I'm going to go with Alex Johnson.
A little bit stumped with my left winger because it's players we can't mention. It's another club I don't have an extensive list for.
You keep saying left and right. I've not. That's not me criteria here, James. You can have 2 right wingers if you want.
I'm struggling a little bit for a second.
Taylor, you just need to name a Roosters wing to get a Rabbitohs wing to get a point there.
Are you going to have a crack, Varley, or are you leaving it?
No, he's done it. Excuse me, who's in charge?
Leaving it open.
Who's in charge? Taylor.
I really liked Nathan Merritt. The problem is all the good ones have already been mentioned because Rabbitohs came into the competition and all that sort of stuff. Like Reece Wesser played on a wing for the Rabbitohs as well. But why am I stumped?
Fullback, James.
Right. Did Julian O'Neill play for South Sydney? I've got him on the Brisbane.
But I'm not so sure he played fullback.
Right.
For him.
He must be fullback.
And Taylor, fullback.
Clive Churchill.
Mic drop. Okay.
I'm so pissed off.
Johnson or Merritt? If I were you, mate, I wouldn't have put AJ against Merritt because you would have known there's a chance that James wouldn't have a second wing.
Well, I didn't drop a second wing. I've literally got the jersey in my face, the big DeLonghi on the front, and I can't forget what it was. Anyway, you're going to say a name here, and I'm going to break my own back.
No. AJ Johnson's a great try scorer, isn't he? He keeps breaking records and stuff. So I mean, it's sort of like the name of the game, isn't it? Really.
Well, if AJ also played a lot for New South Wales and for Australia. Sorry, he played for Australia before he played for New South Wales, and he's breaking all the records.
Mm-hmm. Merritt has a lot of merit though too. Like he was very good. I think I'm going to go AJ just for scoring reasons. You both didn't get another wing, so you both don't get a point. And then you get Churchill over Julian O'Neill.
Yeah.
So Taylor, 3 points to you. And none to you, James, on that one. Right. Who starts this one?
Me.
Oh. You want to be winning the ones you start. It's like tennis, isn't it? If you serve, you want to be winning that.
Oh, you got a hold. You can't let them break.
Yeah. Canberra Raiders.
Okay. Joel Monahan on a wing.
Right. Noah Nadruku.
Yep. The other wing, Taylor.
Oh, did he play for him? No, he didn't play for him. Yeah, he did play. Kenny Nagus.
Yeah.
Taylor struggling on this one. Yeah.
No, I always struggle with Canberra.
James, the other wing.
Jordan Rapana.
That's a good one.
Can I just metaphorically bang both your heads together? Neither of you said Chicka Ferguson.
Well, my fullback's going to be Clinton Szykovsky.
James.
Brett Mullins.
Brett
Mullins, one of my favourite players. Super player.
Good player, Brett Mullins.
Has Varley just broke my serve?
He has. Mate, Nadruku is listed. Would you believe when James said the words Noah Nadruku, I was looking at that name on my screen because I'm doing bits of research while we talk. On the other wing, Kenny Nagus over Rapana. I think I'm saying Nagus there. I think I'm a fan of Nagus. Szykovsky or Mullins, though, there's just no, like, Mullins was a gun. So 3 points to James Varley and a mere one to Taylor Brown.
On serve, too.
Okay. You're first, aren't you, James? The symmetry of this from me is amazing. Yeah. Great Britain.
Right, Great Britain. Right. Right. Fullback. My fullback.
And you can double up on a wing on this because it's representative.
Right. My fullback for Great Britain. Right. Okay.
No, your wing first. What is it with you not knowing the rules? You lot, we just play.
Right. Jason Robinson.
Yeah.
Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall.
Martin Afire.
Yeah. The other one.
Lee Addison. Nah.
Hey, you've won. You've won.
Hudson Young, and then at fullback, James Varley. Hudson Young on that wing. I don't know any, mate.
Fullback, James.
The fullback I liked was Alan Tate.
He did say Tate, by the way.
Tate. Adam Tate.
Not Tit. Fullback, Taylor.
Tompkins.
Okay. Ryan Hall or Jason Robinson, absolutely no competition. Jason Robinson. Hudson Young or Martin Afire, absolutely no competition. Martin Afire. I am going to metaphorically bang your head against the wall. James, you didn't mention Clive Sullivan. You didn't mention Billy Boston, two of the greatest ever. But Afire and Robbo definitely are too. Yeah. Tate or Tompkins.
Different.
Tompkins played for Britain and England a lot more. I know Tate played for Wales, but he's played a lot more international. So I'm just going to go with Tompkins for that one. Okay. And you didn't mention Radlinski, you didn't mention Jonathan Davis, you didn't mention Steve Hampson, mate. And you've done all this research, mate. Honestly,
I have. Yeah.
Honestly, but you still won that round, James Varley. You still won that that round, James Varley. So it's 1, 2, 3 points to James Varley and a solitary point to Taylor
I'm
Brown.
happy with
that. Guess what the scores are at half time?
Even.
And we're using the tennis analogy. 15 all.
15 all.
15 all. Right. And for a bit of half-time entertainment, I'm going to take you through some social media comments. Okay. Right? From the... So this week I did a post just saying, I called it a plea to coaches. Just go easy in the first week and remember your players are consumers. If you push them too hard, they might not like it. I didn't say anything about training soft. Here we go. How times have changed. Nothing like getting smashed first session in and not being able to walk for the next few days. Lol. Rubbish advice. Go hard. Set the tone for the season. Blow it all out. Vomit. And all take it as it comes. This is very important for the young kids of today because they're effing pussies playing for money. So take it easy, boys. Remember the Kardashians' dad changed to a woman and within 12 months became woman of the year. So there is life after footy. Go hard first week, filters out the pretenders. Get effed, soft cock, somebody else said.
Jesus.
Nah, tradition rocks, a road run and spew. No, old school is better. So what if you vomit? This is a test, especially if you're, spelt wrong, a senior player, to see if you really have it in you for a full season or if you should retire. There's no shortcuts. In the off-season, you should keep your training schedule up. I mean, some of that was actually quite well put, but I don't think, Mick's first comment, this will do me, has to be a joke, surely. Drew said, lots of cuddles these days, Morocco. Graham's first comment, FFS, they left out the group hug. Tell everyone you love them and then all get down on one knee before the session begins. This is a group chat in the group, something or other. Graham's second comment, oh, I read the dribble, LOL. Also seen all your love heart, embarrassing. Because I said, did you read it properly? Mick's second comment, next thing everyone will be saying sorry when they run into you. Tim said, sports is getting softer every day.
I don't get
Nick's
that.
Third comment, he took exception to me saying players are consumers, even though they pay money to take a product up. Yeah, right. You either able to play or you can't. Nothing like playing with a bloke who's effing useless. And trust me, it didn't. The word effing, it's me calling it effing. It was written in all its glory.
Do you reckon? Old Mick's played a bit, or I mean, for someone to be saying that you can't play unless you're at a certain standard, I mean, come on, Mick, show me your trophy cabinet before you start spewing that garbage. Show me what you've got. But I love it how you say next thing people have to apologise for bumping into you. Well, if I'm walking down the street and I bump into someone, Yeah, I'm going to apologise. Like, isn't
The other
that
thing-
just manners?
Nothing about my piece of rope was about playing soft. There was nothing soft about it. It was just ease them into it and just remember some things. And can't you have fun at training? Like, anyway, what do I know? What do I know? This next team in the NRL is good, but we've got to do Australia first. And Taylor, you're first.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Because we can do double ups, I will do double ups. On the wing.
Best Australian Kangaroos wing ever, please.
Greg Inglis.
James.
Just trying to think. Right. Eric Grove.
Mm-hmm. Taylor, the other wing.
Darius Boyd. What?
The other wing, James.
You don't like Darius Boyd?
Wendell Saylor.
Oh.
There's about 20 you could have put before Darius Boyd on a wing.
Lottie
Fullback,
Fakiri.
Taylor.
Damn. Yeah, I think this is comfortable. It's Billy Slater.
James, I still think you can come back with a good one.
Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, that's one you could have come back with. I still pick Billy over Lockyer.
Yeah.
English over Growth. English is a bit more of a centre, isn't he?
Yeah, but do you remember Inglis in that centenary game playing outside of Gasnier?
I was at it.
I went to that game too. That's crazy. We didn't even know each other then.
Well, you know what happened? Well, number one, I know the date is an important date for me, but Jack Gibson, the coach of the century, died, and it was announced just before kickoff at the ground where he won all his grand finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you'd go Growth. Just because of the Premiership wins and stuff. You're the one who keeps going on about Premiership wins. Boyd or Sailor. I mean, I'm not even going to have that conversation. None of you mentioned Wishart.
No, Wishart goes.
Mick Hancock. Raj Radra's played for Australia.
Yeah, but mate, Darius Boyd, he's one of the best wingers. You get him on the end of the line, and he was just sensational. I'm actually kicking myself I didn't mention one of the Morris brothers.
I'm not going to mention any other names because it might come into one of the other teams as well. But I think we've got to go Slater over Lockyer just because, if we didn't, you just wouldn't. So that's 1 point to Taylor, 3 to James for winning the round. For the first time in this context, on this contest, James Varley is ahead on points. And now we go to the Brisbane Broncos. And it's you, James Varley.
Right, fullback.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And remember, you can double up.
Wingers, yeah.
Only 10 teams down. Yeah.
I can name the ones from the Australian one, obviously. Wendell Saylor.
Wendell Saylor, yeah.
Lottie Dakiri.
Oh! Save that one for the other wing. Never mind. Yeah.
No, because he could have pulled it out.
True.
Michael Hancock.
Taylor.
Denon Kemp. No, I'm going to put Denon Kemp in there because I know you're going to give it to Hancock anyway. Denon Kemp.
Fullback for me. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, look, I don't think anything I say could beat Darren Lockyer. There have been some good fullbacks there, but no one as good as him.
Boyd.
Well, I was going to go with Boyd, but I'm just thinking in my head if I've missed anyone, but I'll go with Boyd.
I thought a very good winger in all for Brisbane. Brent Tate, he was very, very fast.
Very good, yeah. Willie Kahn.
He was more of a centre though, Brent Tate. Actually, I'm kicking myself. I didn't say Michael DeVere.
Willie Kahn,
Mick DeVere.
Mick DeVere was a great player.
There's somebody else who's escaping me.
Gerald Yow, wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad, yeah.
Yeah, he just got hampered by his injury. I will say though, if Corey Oates he had about a season and a half going into the wilderness, he could have ended his career as one of the greatest Broncos wingers ever.
You know who else you could have? You know who else you could have mentioned on a wing? Israel Folau.
Oh, yeah.
Takiri or Sailor boys? Like, I mean, Takiri spent a lot more time in the other code than Sailor did, but they both switched codes. I would say Sailor's impact, though, a bit bigger on league. Would you both agree?
Yes. Yeah. I would on league.
And Queensland and the like.
Yeah.
Kemp or Hancock, I'm sorry. There's only one winner there.
What, the nose?
And Lockyer. Mate, you've not won a thing there, Taylor. You are a disgrace. 1, 2, 3, 4 points to James, 22 to James, 16 to Taylor. This really is a game of two halves. Now, after the Broncos, we are now going the Dragons. And
Taylor first.
Nathan Blacklock.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael O'Connor.
Did he play for the Dragons?
I'm not absolutely certain, but I've got a real hunch that he did. But I may be mistaken.
I don't associate him with the...
No, I might be mistaken, Lee.
There's one person I'm aware of that played for the Dragons, but he played for a couple of other clubs too. So
right,
I don't want to say it, but you keep going. So Taylor, the other wing.
I'm throwing it up between two people, but I'm going to give it to this one. I'm going to go Jason Nightingale.
Yeah.
Your other wing.
You won't class Illawarra Steelers as the same team, will you? Because it's been St George since then. You won't class Illawarra, will you?
Well, we quite often talk about Balmain in the same breath as West Tigers. So, you know what? I'm going to make a decision and say, please, do.
Yeah, Adam.
Rod Wishart, I believe, played for Illawarra.
He did. Fullbacks?
Well, one of the best ever was Graham Langlands, wasn't it?
Yep. Neither of you mentioned Adam McDougall, by the way.
Mad dog.
Fullback, James.
Mick Potter.
Darius Boyd would have been a better pick than Mick Potter.
Yeah. But,
Blacklock wins. Nightingale or Wishart. Wishart wins that one. Good player, old Rod. And Langland's over Potter. I'm sorry. You'd have to be on pot to think that there's any other winner.
Disagree.
3 points. 3 points to Taylor, who wins that round, and 1 to James. The score is now 23 James, 19 Taylor. It's getting tight here at the Rugby League Coach Arena. Now, the next team, the Manly Sea Eagles, and there's a big legend who played for this club, and if you miss him here, I will announce who it is because you missed him for somebody else. Okay. But you're first this time, James.
Right, so wingers... John Hopewati.
Very good player. Taylor?
Trying to think which one to throw up there. I think the Wolfman wins this. I think the Wolfman wins that battle. I think Dave Williams was great. I think he had more of an impact. Anyway, sorry, let's continue.
Right.
Hopper won premierships too, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And played for New South Wales and Australia. The other wing.
Dale Shearer.
Rowdy.
Another one from back in the 80s.
James. Taylor.
I'm going to go with arguably the better Hopewati, William Hopewati.
Fullback, James.
I'm going to put Tom Tebojevic at fullback, but I've got a legend from way back in the 70s, 80s as well. But I'm going to put Turbo Tom there.
Brett Stewart.
Okay, Wolf or Hopper? I'm going to go Hopper because, particularly if he was playing in this modern era now, he's a big body.
Yeah,
and he'd get go forward coming out and whatnot. So I'm going to go Hopper. Plus, he was intimidating. Rowdy or Will? I mean, Will Hopewati was Rowdy Roddy Shearer was very good, actually.
You remember when Will Hopewadi burst onto the scene and then played for New South Wales that year
Mate,
at
I
18?
coached him. I had
mean.
him in my Harold Matthews side. So, I'm going to pick that one just because I had him in my Harold Matthews side. Who was a legend you were going to bring up, James?
Graham Eady from the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, and you also, none of you mentioned Kerry Boosted.
82 tour, of course, he was on. Was he a winger?
And he also played for the Roosters and North Sydney. So, fullback, Turbo or Snake? I think Turbo, if he kept going and was fit all the time, he will be better. But at this time right now, Brett Stewart, the Snake, gets my vote there. So that's 3 points to Taylor. 2, 3. I must say, James, you're a lot nicer to deal with. You don't complain when you lose. You just cop it. So it's 24 to James and 22 to Taylor. Whose serve is it now?
It'll be...
I'm up first.
Taylor. So you broke serve there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I'm on the come up. I'm really hoping this team's next. I think it's this team next. This would be a good
Bulldogs.
One. Yeah. Oh, yes, the dogs are having a party. Hazem El Masri has got to be your first pick. El Magic.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm sorry to everyone who hears me swigging my water. James?
Right, I'll put him on the wing, hoping that somebody else is going to be mentioned. If he played, but that's if he played wing. Ben Barber had to play wing for them, or was he just a fullback?
Oh,
he might have in his early days for him.
I mean, you've said it, so I'll put him there. But
put him there.
The other wing, Taylor?
There's two here that I could go for. But I'm going to go with Matt Utai.
Yeah.
You know who we didn't mention for the Broncos too?
Who?
Go on.
Have I already said this? Willie Kahn.
You said that.
Oh, sorry, forget that. Yeah, just a senior moment from me.
Yeah.
Matt Utai. The biggest glutes in rugby league history.
Did Steve Morris play for the Dogs as well? Or was he just...
Or are you going to tell James that? You're going to tell James that one?
Right. I've got my winger. Josh Morris played wing as well as Brett.
He did.
Josh
Morris.
Yeah. Fullback, Taylor?
It's got to be Luke Patton, the general.
Yeah.
Fullback, James?
Well, I'll say it, but I don't think he ever played fullback for him. But I'll throw British name, Jonathan Davis. I know he played for Canterbury, but I also know that Gary Conley played for Canterbury as well. I think he might have been a centre.
El Masri over Barber. Josh Morrison, Utah. Didn't Brett Morris did play for him too?
Brett Morris did. He would have been the better choice.
But we've already named him somewhere, haven't we?
No, we haven't. Brett Morris. I picked Jason Nightingale for the Dragons because I wanted to keep Brett Morris up my sleeve for the Bulldogs in case Varley mentioned Utai and Hale Masri in case he went first. Bulldogs have had some great wingers. So
why didn't you mention Brett Morris then?
Because I like Matt Utai. And the way you've been picking power players, I would have picked him. The other one we didn't pick for the Bulldogs is Darryl Halligan.
Yeah.
So I've given you the point for Utai because I like Matt Utai. Now, Patton or Davis? Now, Jonathan Davis was an absolute gun. But he only came over for a short time to the Dogs, didn't he? Whereas Patton was a club legend.
I'd have gone for Patton if you'd have given me first.
Okay. All right, Patton.
Definitely.
Taylor with 4 points. I tell you what's good about this point system. The league changes all the time. It's brilliant. Mate, I should be in charge of the NRL or something. Next team, Gold Coast Titans.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Right.
And I've got to say for this one, I am not going to use any previous incarnations of the Gold Coast Titans. So, the Gold Coast bloody whatevers or whatever.
Seagulls.
Yeah.
What about the Adelaide?
There was a...
Can we use the Adelaide Rams?
There's somebody else we didn't mention for St. George as well. Alan McIndoe.
Yeah, I remember the name. Yeah.
All right, Varley, you go first.
Right. Winger David Mead.
Oh,
He's now in Super League, I believe, for Catalan. Is he, or he has played for Catalan?
I'm going to go with Anthony Don.
Oh, the other wing, James.
Other winger I'm struggling a bit with, to be honest. I'm struggling a bit with another wing for them.
Okay. Taylor, another wing.
Matt Rogers.
Right, did he play for that? Right, good. I forgot he played for Gold Coast.
Fullback, James.
Fullback. Right, he interchanges between the 5'8" and fullback. AJ Brimson. He's played fullback, hasn't he?
Yeah. Taylor.
William Zillman.
Nick Walker.
Nick Walker, yeah.
The Don or Mead.
Do you remember the Don scoring that try? Just flicked his hand out when the ball came across, he was kicked, and he just flicked his arm over the outline and scooped it and scored it at the same.
Just remember the Don being Don. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Don is good.
Don is good. Don is good?
I sort of get the feeling he's a bit more of a fan favourite though, because of his tallness and his name and stuff. And
yeah.
A bit like Keith Galloway at Tigers. Just because he's redhead, everyone gets a bit. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of.
I hope you haven't got a bad word to say about Keith Galloway.
So I'm going Mead there. But Rogers for you, Taylor. Zillman or Brimson?
Consistency, sir. Consistency.
I think Zillman was part of a better Gold Coast team, so to be a consistent player in that team took more than Brimson. So I'm giving that round to Taylor. Who served then?
I served on that one.
Scores are James 25, Taylor 29. No, 10, 20, 30, 34.
Okay.
I'm thinking
James 25, 34,
one team,
25.
One team with
3 teams left.
3 teams left.
So I'm trying to work out the maths. Is there any way you can? Is it? Oh yeah, you can still win, James. Can't you?
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who you've missed. I'll have it a blank.
The next team is Newcastle Knights.
Adam Mad Dog McDougall on one wing.
Dog. Yep. James.
Aquila Uarte.
Aquila.
Aquila the Killer. Yeah. The other wing, Taylor.
I'm drawing a little bit of a blank here on their best other wing. Well, I know they've got their currents, but they're, a really good one. But I'm going to go with Tamana Tahu.
Oh, good.
Right. I believe he played wing. I know he was a free quarter. Jamie Ainsker.
More of a centre. Yeah, I know Jamie.
Do you want me to name another one?
No, you've used one.
Okay.
Neither of you mentioned Darren Albert, the one who scored the...
Albert.
Darren Albert won the other one. I should have gone for it.
Fullback, Taylor.
Gidley. Matt Gidley.
Right.
No, Kurt Gidley, sorry.
Fullback, James.
Robbie O'Davis.
Oh, he could play Robbie O'Davis.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Mad Dog or Killer, I'm going Dog.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Tahu or Ainscough, I'm going Tahu.
Right.
Even though I know Ainscough personally. Gidley or O'Davis.
That's a tough one. Gidley captained his bloody state from the bench.
Didn't O'Davis get banned for drugs for a while too?
Absolutely sure. He might have, I kind of picked that one a little bit because Malcolm Riley named him in his best 13, Robbie O'Davis, and he coached Newcastle.
Gidley. 4 points to Taylor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taylor's on 10, 20, 30, 35, 38 to Taylor. 10, 20, 25 to James. So that difference is 13 points, and we've only got 8 points to play for. So, Taylor, I'm going to declare you the winner today.
You can hold the trophy now, Taylor.
Taylor's the winner today. Warriors, who's serving this time?
I would have struggled here. It's
There's a bucket load for the Warriors.
Yeah. Manu Vatavai.
Yeah, Taylor.
Old Thunderous Thighs Manu Vatavai. Did Ruben Wiki play on a wing for the Warriors?
He might have started on the wing for him, yeah.
I believe he did because he played for the Warriors and then he went to Canberra, didn't he? Or the other way around?
I'm gonna say you're right. Oh, did he start at Canberra though? I can't remember. But I'm gonna go Wiki on the wing. That's fine. But you've still lost. Manu's better. The other wing, James.
I'm going to pick a speedster on the other wing, but I think he played for New Zealand.
Who?
I stand slightly mistaken. Lee Odenrine. I remember he outpaced Martina Fire in the early 90s in the sprint challenge.
And fullback, the other wing. Sorry, Taylor.
Dallin Watine-Zelezniak.
You can say anything now. You've won the game. Fullback, James.
Brent Webb.
Webb.
I'm going to go a controversial one, but I think he played his best footy there. Kevin Locke.
I did a post. I can't remember the other two I put. Fullback. Neither of you mentioned Sean Hoppy.
Don't remember Sean Hoppy.
Yeah, I've got him on. Yeah, Sean.
Trying to think who else played fullback from him. That's some good ones. Matthew Ridge.
Matthew Ridge, yeah. The early days.
And didn't Ivan Cleary play fullback from?
Not absolutely sure about
that. Manu gets the point there. DWZ, I've never heard of that Olden right that you're on about, James. Webb gets the point, though, over Locke. So DWZ gets you a point there, Taylor. Another player. What about all the players I've coached getting in these lists? How good's that?
Yeah.
1 point to Taylor, which gives him 39. And 3 points to James, which gives him 28.
Okay.
The last round, it's come out like a rugby league score too, 39-28.
So
you wouldn't
drop goal from Taylor.
You wouldn't be happy with the score, would you, if you were coaching?
No. And it's probably quite appropriate at this juncture that we talk about the West Tigers. So
I'll go first. I go first too, don't I?
Yeah.
Just let me lick my lips here for a second. Pat Richards in the wing.
I'm just going to write Pat, the word Pat.
Patty.
Yeah. Wingers. Right, I'm going to go winger. He might have played winger for Balmain because it's Tim Brasher. Yeah, I know he played fullback, didn't play wing.
The other wing.
See, I'd like to put Josh Adokar here, but he's already taken. So I'll do David Nofaluma.
Such a millennial, Taylor, isn't he, James? Your other wing, James.
Other wing, right. Did
every time you say right, I keep wondering whether I have to write right, like WRIG.
Sean Wright.
Did Daniel Fitzhenry ever play on the wing?
Yes, he did. He would have. He was a centre.
Fitzy. Fullback.
Got to be Brett Hodgson, doesn't it?
Oh.
Right. Gary Jack for Balmain. Again, that my age might be the advantage on that one.
What's wrong with your back?
Yeah.
Gary Jack.
Richards or Tim Brasher. I mean,
award it.
Really should I just give James some points?
Award it.
Yeah.
Brasher.
No, I've got my foot on the throat.
Noffer or Fitzy. Noffer's gone okay. I don't even know who Fitzy is. Hodgson, Brett Hodgson or Gary Jack. Gary Jack. Quality Gary Jack. Played loads for Australia and New South Wales. So that's 3 to James. 3 to James and a solitary point to Taylor. But Taylor won't mind because he's got 40 and James has got 31. I declare Taylor Brown our winner today.
Fantastic. We'll enjoy it.
Do a bit of a clap, James. Come on, clap him. Clap yourself too, Taylor.
Congratulations, Taylor.
Okay. I have got a confession to make in a minute, James, and
I've got another confession.
You'll laugh. I'm just going through the list now, like of best evers that I had in front of me. Like I said, none of you mentioned Kerry Boosted, who played for Eastern Suburbs, as they were called then, Roosters.
I feel like there was
Manly
loads of
North
this.
Sydney.
I feel like there was loads.
There will be.
There's
Matt Singh, we mentioned, Lottie Takiri, Nathan Bartlett. You got most of them. Noah Nadruka was a great one from you. James, Rod Wishart, we got in there. Manu Vatavai, good one. Alan McKindo played for Illawarra and scored 5 tries in one game. Semi-Radradra, Blake Ferguson, Willie Kahn, Daniel Tupou got a mention. They've put Daniel Tupou in the top 20 ever here. And then the honourable mentions, they've gone Matt. This is the Daily Telegraph. Matt Rogers, Kenny Nagus, Marcus Bai, Jason Nightingale, Nathan Merritt, Steve Morris, Ricky Walford, somebody we didn't mention at all.
Oh. I told you Kenny Nagus would be up there.
What club did Ricky Walford play most of his football for?
Well, he was St George, wasn't he?
I think
Should have been.
Sure
and Valentine Holmes was mentioned. English slant on things. They mentioned Jason Robinson. They also mentioned Manu Vatavai. Leslie Vinacolo is huge in British sense.
Yeah.
Ryan Hawley mentioned. Pat Richards gets a mention over there, and then another one is Freddie Tuilangi that gets mentioned over there too.
Well, one I like from years back, the first one I noticed when I started following it, Phil Ford was quite an elusive winger.
He was.
He
was very good. Very good. Now, another confession, James, because you were too busy bragging pre-match. I've got 140 in all this.
I thought it might be a mistake.
I tipped. Well, number one, I threw you a curveball by deciding I was going to put some rules in that didn't make it, that didn't keep it lopsided, because otherwise, Taylor would have been left. So I texted Taylor and said, "Prep up, mate. These are going to be the rules." So if you went in for a steward's inquiry, you might get a rematch on that. But the other thing,
I only saw it 10 minutes for the podcast because I was eating dinner and doing everything. It wasn't a real.
Yeah, the other thing is what's worrying is with all that heads up, some of the names Taylor came out with. I mean, he only just got over the line there, didn't he? Before we go, who are the best wingers right now? Who would you pick for Australia or New South Wales, Britain? Or
I don't think anybody in Britain had really come into it. Sadly,
I like Makinson, but I just don't think he's
not up to that.
The best winger we have in the game right now is currently not playing wing, and that's Valentine Holmes, and he's one of the best centers we have at the moment. I see Valentine Holmes as probably the best winger in their game. I know he doesn't play that at Clubland or anything, but if he was restricted to a wing right now, he would be extremely damaging. And he's just such a good finisher. Brian To'o's definitely up there. Daniel Tupou's definitely up there as one of the great wingers we have currently.
What about your two best wingers in history, boys?
I'm going to go for a British slant on this for players who put some British representation. I'm going to put Robinson and a Fire in my team.
I wouldn't be far off, but I think Sailor would be in that conversation.
Yeah.
I honestly think Fire and Robinson. Britain was blessed with two of the best ever, and of course, Boston and Sullivan. Sullivan was brilliant, World Cup winner for Britain.
And his son wasn't that player either, Anthony Sullivan.
No, it wasn't his son. I think it was his nephew or something, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Sure, but yeah.
I might be wrong. The other thing is that there's a difference in the way we're looking at it. Sometimes you pick a wing for speed, Martin Offiah, Jason Robinson, your Wendell Sailors, your Mick Hancocks, your Don Opoatis, your Daniel Tupous. They can return a ball great, and they're almost like having another forward in the back three. And then your fullback, you'd probably go Lockyer or Slater, really, wouldn't you? I think.
Yeah,
I think I'll go.
It's just, and one thing that we've sort of picked apart over the last couple of months doing this exercise is that it all depends who you have around them. Like if you were going to pick one from scratch, it's actually quite difficult. And if you picked fullbacks and wingers first, you would find that later on your team would be shaped by those fullbacks and those wingers. Whereas if you pick locks and forwards first, well, then your latter picks. For example, if you decided the best ever, you were going to pick a couple of really elusive wingers, then you'd need a lot of power up front to get your set started.
That's right.
You'd need that. And are you picking the best ever in terms of a team that will actually take the park, or is this just the best ever in,
And the amount of them who could interchange positions too.
Yeah.
And would we pick some of the centres on the wing just to have them in the team? which is quite a common tactic, because the difference between fullback and wing is quite significant, but the difference between centre and wing in the defensive line is quite similar. There's not that much difference really. Where it gets different is in when the wing becomes part of the back three. So,
Inglis is a good example. Is Inglis one of your centres? Probably one of your centres. But if he's not one of your centres, then you pick him on a wing. So he's a good example.
Matt King the same. Matt King was a centre.
So I reckon when we do centres next week, we're going to mix in some of the names up, and Taylor, you can host next week. And it's always good doing the positions where you have to pick two of them too.
Yeah.
So with a hooker, for example, there's only one, and so we've got centres, then we've got 6, and then we've got 7, and then we've wrapped up.
Well, this is with the centres. There's also the dynamic of, for a long time, they were classified as inside and outside centres. They were actually separate positions, weren't they? So
James still thinks they are.
Is that more a rugby union thing, though, inside and outside centres?
It is. But
you've got to remember the two games evolved. They both evolved from the same womb.
Well, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So I often have this conversation with people when they talk about the different sports. Right? Let me entertain me for a bit here. Right? So there was football in England back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And then at some point, somebody picked a ball up and ran with it. But ultimately, it's the territory thing. We either put a ball in a goal or we put it somewhere, whatever. 1895, the codes split. But basically, rugby union was played up north in England.
Yeah.
But under the Northern Union. It was actually called the Northern Union. So in other words, Northern Rugby Union. It was only after a while that they started to remove the line-outs, for example, remove the flankers from the scrum. So if you think about the scrum's basically the same, except there's no flankers in it, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the sports too, if you think about rugby union, it's basically the same as soccer in the sense that the ball goes out, you have a throw-in, so a line out, and there's a contest for the ball on every tackle. So when that ball's in the tackle, everyone can go for it. Yeah. Soccer's like that too. They've all sort of evolved from the same thing. AFL is still like that, right?
Yeah.
Rugby league, until in my lifetime, I remember you could strike at the play the ball.
Yeah.
So you were allowed to strike and get the ball back, and the play the ball was seen as a mini scrum.
Yeah, right.
And don't forget, it's only recent history of rugby league, really, that you've had 4 tackles and then 6 tackles. It used to be unlimited. You could just keep going up. And in theory, you've got unlimited in union if you just keep recycling. So the games literally came from the same womb. So many similarities. It's just that the way they've been coached and played over time have meant different habits have ended up forming, and props specialise very differently in both and whatnot. And we've tried to make league as fast as possible. So, but ultimately, they very much, if I changed my mind about AFL once I thought to myself, it's just a game of soccer where they can pick the ball up.
Yeah.
Once I saw it through that prism, I started really enjoying the game.
Yeah, right.
So, and if you think about union, soccer, AFL, they're very similar in that sense. And the 360 games, the ball can be over on the right at one point and then go to the other side of the field, left, right, one end of the field to the other. League has now changed its rules so that you have to gradually bring it to one end, kick it downfield, gradually bring it down to the other. So but ultimately they came from the same womb. But you used to be able to strike at every play the ball, and they used to have scrums that were competitive. So some of the hookers that have made their names as hookers historically, it was because they could strike for the ball and win it in a scrum.
Yeah,
and it's not that long ago. It's definitely in James's lifetime because he's a bit older than me. Yeah. Probably not really in my lifetime, but I do remember when I was at school, the teachers who were a bit old-fashioned teaching the hookers how to strike for the ball, even though we never really had to do it. So
right.
So
I think the 10-meter rule changed a lot in rugby league, though.
Yeah,
maybe is that why wingers more bringing the ball out early in the tackle count? Use that speed, use that more space than hookers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you think about what some of those players did, despite only having 5 yards or meters to deal with, imagine what they could do with 10.
Yeah. I think I used to say this to you once or twice. There used to be a lot more chips over the top
That's
When
right.
they were
Yeah.
Short gap. Sean Edwards and Henry Paul used to work so well for Wigan.
Talking of chips, mate, I'm looking forward to the next time we go to that Chinese in Oldham.
Yeah, well, definitely.
What a place that is! What a place that
It
is.
is.
TV.
I feel
You'd
like
be-
I'm gonna have to come just to get involved in
I
this.
know. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to employ you on one of my clinics and come.
Yeah. Go on
Mrs. will be all right with that, won't she? And the kids will be fine.
it's a work trip, Lee. It's a work trip. Okay.
Boys, a pleasure as always. I don't know where Tim is. I told him he could join us late. Raneal, being Raneal, he said he's got something on. So I reckon he just don't want to get involved in these games. Take care, boys.
See you, mate.
Take care. See you.